you and fuck her too. Said if I was rich, I'd still be with ya. No, ain't that some shit? And although that's pain in my shirt, I still wish you the best. Fuck you. Now I know I have to borrow.
I apologize for that. I did not mean to have so much fun. There you go. Opening slide. Chris Brown. Sometimes we call him Brownie. And Vince Mazzio. I didn't say it. I didn't say Dumb and Dumber. Fuck. I want to give him a break. Two fine gentlemen that are going to save Atlantic City and the state of New Jersey. There you go. Brownie, Mazzio. There you go. Hey, everybody. It's ACprimetime. It's ACprimetime. I have great respect for these two gentlemen. They keep employed. And what I would have done with Chris Brown if I was his consultant, because it's, you got to take it from the white bread reporter. Soft, white, mushy on the inside, fresh, nutritional. Gluten-free, I'm not sure yet. But on my sides, on the outside, I'm brown. Toasted brown. It's the crust. I try to stay... I want to be inclusive, if you know what I'm saying. So getting back to Chris Brown, he's the new savior, the czar for the city of Atlantic City. He stepped out of the way from his seat there as the senator for the state of New Jersey. Chris Brown slides away. Gets a big job, $150,000 job, to report to Murphy about how we're going to save Atlantic City. Does this pave the way for my main man, the master of the melon, Vince Mazzio? Vince Mazzio. Tonight we're not going to talk about his huge, very successful foray into much more aggressive abortion issues. We'll talk about that later. When you go in, stop by and say, Vince, tell me about that bill, that abortion bill that you are sponsoring. And how are the blueberries? Kind of mix that topic together. Or those two, okay? Son of a bitch. And what Chris Brown should have done. Listen, Phil Murphy, governor, I will step aside. But you have to make sure that you don't let Steve Sweeney fuck around with Vince Palestina. That's a dick move. Dick move. So Chris should have done that. Chris Brown should have said, Phil, I'll move aside, letting Melonhead from Northfield, Vince Mazzio, abortion guy, he'll slide right in there into the seat that's still warm from my ass. You know, I'm working hard for all the hardworking families. I like these two guys. They're nice guys. But holy crap, I got a whole laundry list for these guys to handle. Because Chris is going to be handling social issues in Atlantic City, crime, education. Maybe he can help with the pedo patrols, the people that are catching pedophiles on the boardwalk, stuff like that. There's a lot of nasty stuff going on, but these two guys are going to get the job done. Sorry about that. It's been a while since I've been on the air. On the webcast, that is. But I had to take a little break. It gets just nauseating. It's really, when you cover the news of Atlantic City, you got to take a hot shower all the time and take Maalox because it's so ugly and it gets worse. And everybody plays stupid. Everybody plays dumb. Could you imagine giving Barry Caldwell, the superintendent for the school district of Atlantic City? He's already said he's on his way out. He's announced his retirement. But we still thought to give him a 12% raise, taking this like total compensation package to over $250,000 when you add everything up. Gave him a 12% raise on the way out to pad his pension. And the guy sucks. His track record sucks. But the parents of school students in Atlantic City, they seem to be okay with it. They don't show up at the school board meetings, nothing. Let's hope we can get a new school board for the Atlantic City School District. Otherwise, these are the folks that'll be controlling Atlantic City. But I'm still trying to figure out, why didn't LaQuetta report the abuse from her cousin, Cayenne Frazier, to Atlantic City, the police department, or the county prosecutor? Didn't seem to happen, according to documents. And then how did Frazier, her cousin, Cayenne, get a state job with kids? Did Miss Small warn the state of New Jersey? Whatever happened with that? Good thing the press of Atlantic City's on the ball with that one. She waited 2 months. LaQuetta Small, principal of Pennsylvania Avenue School back then, but she's now the principal of Atlantic City High School. She's the lovely wife of Mayor Marty Small. Right, Marty? I love you, Marty. You are the best.
Obviously, the people of Atlantic City know my character. Would they elect a criminal?
No, not at, well, as Marty, yes, to be honest with you, they do it all the time. That's the way it works here. It really is.
I had a baseball bat and a sprained ankle, and at the time, my fiance, now my wife, was living in Mays Landing Village, and we was having a discussion, and then the property manager came out there, and lo and behold, when I opened the trunk, the bat fell out, and then they tried to make her say that I hit her. You know what goes on in certain areas in Atlantic County. Don't play stupid.
What are you talking about? What's going on there at Atlantic County? Was there racism going on there? Is there racist activity? What a douche Marty is, really. He really is a horrible mayor. School board president John Devlin just sits there stoically. Right next to him is Barry Caldwell, this blowhard. In the Atlantic City School District, the board was never notified of Frazier's 2019 arrest on child porn, nor circumstances surrounding his 2017 termination. All this information coming from a mixture of the press of Atlantic City and breakingac.com. There's so much going on here because of this guy. At the time of his arrest, Mayor Marty Small's cousin, Cayenne Frazier, worked for the New Jersey Department of Children and Families, hired in 2017, making $56K. Ugh. What happened? Did I lose this here? Oh, it's my main man, Jimmy Whitehead. Oh, I love him, but holy jeez. He's trying to sell us some very high-tech info. These laser beams out of the sky, out of space. It's zapping. We're creating these COVID-free, from outer space zone, safe. Jimmy is pitching COVID information and technology. Jimmy's the master salesman. You ready, Jimmy?
And I ask you guys if you would consider being a part of this unique initiative so we can make our schools even more safer for our kids and create some COVID-free zones in our schools, create some new jobs in this new, what I call the COVID industry, which.
Wait, COVID-free zones. COVID-free zones. Okay, this part of the building is going to be infected, and this is going to be all clean over here. And Jimmy he's pitching the Atlantic City School Board a couple of months ago. So he has to scare everybody, right? COVID-free zones. He's the man. He really is.
And I ask you guys if you would consider in our schools, create some new jobs in this new, what I call the COVID industry, which is constantly growing. COVID-19 is spiking among some Atlantic City youth right now.
Wait, it's spiking? Really? Well, good thing you warned everybody. Jimmy just pulling this out of his ass. School board's like sleeping through it. God bless you, Jimmy, really.
And I ask you guys, little kids, they don't know they have students are coming to school. Little students are coming to school, little babies, little kids. They don't know they have COVID. They exchanging masks with each other because they think each other's masks are cute, or they touching rails, and they're spreading it amongst each other a lot. They've been shooting a beam of light up into the galaxy, and with that beam of light, they've been able to conduct and collect data on Mars or Pluto, or if there's any space viruses coming into Earth. Well, once COVID hit, these scientists got together and said, look, with this beam of light, which is only like the flash off of your camera. So we can shine a light on somebody standing 2 feet away instead of out there in the galaxy. So they came up with a device that does this. And right now we are somewhere between 95 and 98% efficacy in terms of accuracy. And what I was thinking is that if we had one of our schools locally and we sent notices out to parents to say, listen, would you like your student to be tested before they come into the classroom? And that way, if we find a student that is positive, okay, we can send them to the clinic. And if we could create an opportunity, they have COVID-free zones in our schools, we will be the first city in America to use this unique technology that is completely passive. Matter of fact, our wonderful mayor and our director of HHS and Karen Fitzpatrick and over the Bangladesh Community Center, we've already been doing a lot of these flashes locally because currently we're teaching the machine. It's artificial intelligence.
There you go. Jimmy has it all figured out. We are training the machine. COVID-free zones. People have already been zapped, laser beam, from the Jimmy Whitehead technology that he's being the salesperson for. Jimmy's the man. I love it. It's the COVID industry. That's what it is. The industry related to COVID. You got to keep it going. I love you, Jimmy. I love you. I'm glad that you're keeping yourself busy. Jesus, sweet baby Jesus, save us. Yeah, this is ugly. These are some slides I'm working on. Make sure people don't forget about how bad the Atlantic City School District is. Listen, Mr. Cuomo went down. Nobody ever thought that would happen. And this fuck. The high cost of low grades. Dr. Oh, he's not a doctor. I don't know what the hell he is. Barry Caldwell, Atlantic City school boss, overpaid and underqualified, and a very ugly individual to boot. He's a smug bastard. School board corruption, classroom and hallway crime. A lot of hallway crime in the school, in the hallways. All kinds of violence. Video camera's not working. My bad. Transgender focus. I'm not sure. Have you been sharing about the trans thing? And I don't know. Share that curriculum when you get around to it, Barry. Security breaches, critical race theory, teen crime. 75% of students, 75%, can't even pass a basic math or English test. But we give this guy a 12% raise. He's already stepping down, but we got to give him a lot of money to pad his pension. And he's not even maybe if he was a really, really beloved, successful superintendent of schools, yeah, maybe. But this guy should kick him out now. This guy's bad. He's bad. He's such a fuck. There's LaQuetta Small, the mayor of Atlantic City's wife, and she's currently the Atlantic City high school principal. She wants to be the superintendent. But if parents let her become the person in charge of the future of Atlantic City, look at the mistakes she's trying to hide right now. She doesn't want to talk about it. But that's right. That's cool. Being able to read and write when you graduate and find a job, that's not really that important. Right, LaQuetta? This is when Marty bum rushed the show and forced his way onto the school board saying, you got to put my wife in there as the Atlantic City High School principal. What a mess. Mo Delgado in the background there. You got to grow a pair, Mo. Marty is a buffoon. You guys all sit on the sidelines. You guys have to kick him in the nuts. Not physically, but just, figuratively. Because Marty is a stupid, and you let him do it. Shame on you, Mo. And shame on this guy, Michael, what's his name? Kupelis from Ventnor, voted to give him a raise. That's right. Even Ventnor is chiming in. Ventnor sends $4 million a year to the Atlantic City School District to send about 200 Ventnor students to AC High. And that's the representative that Ventnor has on the school board. Yeah, he voted for the 12% raise. The stupid. Shame on that guy. Shame on him.
I don't need to be a lawyer, Shay, to let you know that Mr. Caldwell initiated an investigation against Farouk. Are you going to advise us to break the law again? Are you going to advise us to violate state law again? And let the record reflect that the last time Ms. Riley told us that Farouk couldn't vote, an administrative law judge made a ruling that said, no, Farouk actually could vote and had every right to vote.
Can call vote, please.
Ms. Brown, I'm asking you to make sure that Farouk's vote is recorded, whether or not you decide to count it.
Officer Herbert.
I know there's a motion on the floor.
Motion on the floor.
I know, but a vote hasn't been taken, so I'm allowed to speak. Farouk, can I talk? Shay, listen, I get it. Do me a favor. Don't call me Officer Herbert while I'm sitting here, because unlike you, I don't have to wear my uniform to every meeting. I'm here as an elected official, not as a cop. All right? I really appreciate it. Again, thanks, Shay.
Thank you, officer.
I'm sorry I can't get you promotions and stuff and jobs like other people, but I'm just here to do the right thing for the kids.
Thank you, Officer Herbert. Thank you, officer. Ms. Brown, call vote, please.
Yes, so I have a motion on the floor.
How ugly that is. Not many school boards are this bad. All they talk about is who's getting what money, who's going to get a raise, who's going to get the job. They never talk about the kids, ever. And then Ventnor, of course, gets a seat on the board because sending about 200 students to Atlantic City High School, sends $4 million to Atlantic City to send those 200 kids. Yeah, let's give Barry Caldwell 12% raise. Yeah, makes sense. Shame on you, Mr. Capellas. Shame on you. Shame on you. Now you have to deal with, hey, Mike, you see, Slice of White Bread was talking about you. Who the fuck was that? Just somebody who's just trying to be real. Disappointing. Effing pointing. It's a circus. Disrespecting cops. Shay Steele, the president of the school board. This moron on the right-hand side. Disrespecting a police officer. A fellow board member. That's the kind of scumbags that are part of the Atlantic City School District School Board. But parents don't show up. They don't care. They don't care. Okay, whatever. You don't care. And the child abuse investigation back in October 2020, they're trying to get an independent investigation to figure out how did Kion Frazier get to be with kids, get fired, get laid off, and then find another job with kids by the state. How did all that happen? We need an independent investigation, not an internal investigation by Tracy Riley, the school board solicitor. That's stupid. Who voted yes to an independent investigation? John Devlin, Al Thomas, Al Herbert, and Farouk Hussein. Who voted against an investigation to find out how this scumbag got next to kids? Even after they found out what he was up to, he was still with kids, gets fired from a job, and a couple of months later gets hired by the state to deal with kids? Who voted no to look into that? Ruth Byard, Shay Steele, Pat Bailey, and a former Ventnor representative, Kim Basford. Who the heck could vote against an independent investigation into how kids were preyed on? They should all be wiped out. They all need to go. Not good. Not good, Tracy Riley, the school board solicitor. Not bad. She's not a good person. And Linda Cohen from Breaking AC has really kept up on every move of Tracy Riley. A lot of these slides are influenced by the work of Breaking AC. So these are all the things I'm kind of working on to go deeper into it. Breaking AC said it took 4 months to get Riley's investigative file. And then only 11 of 44 record requests were answered. Carol Morris, the state monitor. I don't really think we can do that, right? We can't really investigate, can we? I really feel bad for parents that really care about their kids and their education, and they have no representation with the school board. The school board's the Wild Wild West. They never talk about the kids and the low, crappy scores for testing purposes. They're not going to be prepared to go out into the world. You can't even keep the school safe from predators, even after you catch them.
We're not going to allow a race war to start in this town.
We need police everywhere. And we understand the incident happens on a boardwalk.
Ugh.
But the man was a promotional genius.
Shut up.
This is an assault on the black community, black female leadership by Councilman Mo Delgado, the Hispanic Alliance, the Bangladesh community, the Pakistan community, and others dividing this community, claiming politics.
Yeah, it's all about racism. All about it. I can't believe people just sit back and let Marty talk like that. I can't believe it. Got to grow a spine. Because guys like this, with his preferred pronouns, him and her, or him and he, or him. Vince, I apologize. What are your preferred pronouns? Get back to me on that, Mr. Mazzio. Pinky, you'd be so disgusted if you were here today, but in spirit, I know you were here. Right? Just George and Marty. It's crazy.
You know, one black, two whites, a Hispanic.
The mayor of Atlantic City, Marty Small.
And then the worst thing, Harry, he had living in his house a child molester and a pornographer.
Ugh. Get tired of even talking about it. But people in Atlantic City, they're cool with that. They're down with this stuff. It's not a big deal. Nah. It's just,
Cash. Hey, Cash, all that money you ran through? All that money you ran through in your lifetime, nigga, cut it out. Nigga, don't get it like that. You know I don't get it like that. I get a check now. I get a check, bro. I don't get dirty money.
that's Cash McKinley. He's in charge of the Cannabis Commission and some other things. He's a personal confidant, associate. He's a part of the Marty Small team, the administration, if you will. But marijuana is a directive that Mayor Marty Small Sr., he said, Cash, I need you to keep an eye on this weed thing, the pot thing, the cannabis thing. All right, man. You got it. All right, that's all. I can't handle it no more. That's just me getting back into the swing. But thanks, everybody, for being patient. But, I took a little break. It's nauseating doing this stuff all the time, focusing on Atlantic City.